Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. I hope your family is doing well. And I want to say, as always, thank you for your support. Listen, y'all, I want to talk about a topic that, even though it's happening in an area where you may or may not live, I still want you, okay, and myself included, I want us to look at this story and say, hey, could this possibly happen in our own communities? Okay, you know, we've been talking a lot about the migrant crisis that's happening concerning our border, and the fact that many women, men, women, and children are coming into the country for reasons unknown, whether it's to seek a better life, if they're coming fleeing some type of crisis in their home country, whether it be a natural disaster, some type of war going on, some type of conflict. There are some who, are seeking a better way of life. Okay, now some may say that, there could be some coming to do harm. We certainly hope that's not the case. But with such an influx, continuous influx of migrants coming through our borders, we just simply don't know for sure, do we? Listen, y'all, I want to bring your attention to a story. Okay, this is out of Chicago, and residents in a community located in Chicago, they're very concerned, upset, as a matter of fact, due to plans to potentially take away what seems like a vital resource to their community and use it to house migrants. Okay, so according to my news source, aldermen and residents are upset over a plan to house migrants in Chicago Parkfield House. Okay, let me tell you what's going on. Now, according to my sources, an uproar has erupted in the West Side's Galewood neighborhood, as residents prepare for migrants to move in. Now, or if you did not know, in some cities, in some states, Texas is one of them, as the migrants are coming across the border, there have been reports that these migrants have actually been sent by bus or by airplane, I think in some cases, to other cities. Chicago is one of those cities. So as the migrants are arriving, to this area of Chicago, listen to what's happening, y'all. A total of, what the article says, is 10 buses, a total of 10 buses, a total of 10 more buses full of migrants were set to arrive in Chicago on Tuesday. This was maybe the earlier part of October. And the city, reports there are now 9,827 migrants living in Chicago shelters, and 3,012 of them awaiting placement. Now, I told you all before, and my message is still the same. I'm not saying that people should not receive help. I feel like I've said this before here on the channel, I feel like there's a humanitarian duty to help those who are in need. But at the same time, don't forget about your own people who are from the country, who helped build this country, who are born and raised here. Some people would even go as far as to say pay taxes here, right? So I want to be very clear and say that, again, I'm not saying that I don't believe people should receive help, but when you do help others, don't forget about those here in our own home country. So hold on just 1 minute, y'all. My screen keeps going out and I'm having to go back in. I got it now. Listen. So 3,012 at the time of this article are awaiting placement. Now, some, here's where a lot of the residents of this area are upset. Some could end up in the Galewood shelter, and some residents do not like it at all. Now, according to CBS 2's, according to a report, there was a meeting. That Tuesday night. Again, this is the earlier part of October, to address the news of the plans and everything. Now, some Galewood residents are not happy about the plan to use the field house at Amundsen Park which the article says is located at 6200 West Bloomingdale Avenue, as a migrant shelter. Okay, now the reason why, and I did read into this, the reason why residents are upset is because this Chicago Park District building is actually a place where they have different senior programs. For example, I know in some communities they have where seniors could come together and they do sporting events. They may come together and have bingo, different senior programs, okay? And they also have sporting events, all right? So people are feeling like, and they have the right to feel this way, but people are feeling like, well, you're going to take a resource that's very vital to the community and you're going to take it away from them and use it to house migrants. A lot of people are not happy about that, okay? I believe this is a representative of the area, someone by the name of Taliaferro, Chris Taliaferro. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This person said that the mayor's office told him 4 days ago this was happening whether he or his constituents liked it or not, okay? So I believe that Chicago has a new mayor, recently put into office, I believe sometime this year, by the last name of Johnson, if I hope I'm not mistaken. Yes, Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago. He's saying that whether or not the residents of the area like it, okay, that's what it's going to be. Now, this person did go on to say, and I quote, "We have a migrant crisis. We're all aware of that. We know that," okay? He said a representative from the mayor's office told him Friday that 125 migrants will be housed inside the Amundsen Field House, okay? Here's a quote by Taliaferro, who said, "We have to make sure that we look out for their well-being, their housing, their safety, but still we have to make sure that our residents are engaged and involved." Okay, now the plan to use the field house as a migrant shelter. Hold on just a minute, y'all. Please be sure that you like this video, share this video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, I want to invite you to subscribe. Okay. Now, the plan, according to my sources, to use the field house as a migrant shelter has also sparked outrage from residents, excuse me, who lived in the neighborhood for decades. Okay, here's what they're saying. Here's a quote by one resident who said, and I quote, "We're taxpayers. They're not paying taxes." Okay, this person said, "It's not fair to us." Now, someone else shared that we're not anti-immigrant. This person shared, a member of the Amundsen Park Advisory Council. Okay, he's on the advisory council of the park. This person was quoted as saying, and I quote, "We're not anti-migrants, okay, but we shouldn't have to suffer." Okay, now, indeed, the article says there was plenty of frustration from Galewood residents, some who lived in the neighborhoods for decades. Okay, one person said, and I quote, "I've been in my house 37 years, and I don't understand why we're being affected like this." Okay. Another person said that the advisory council has put a lot of money into the field house. For example, someone was quoted as saying, "Every air conditioner in this whole building, we bought them. Refrigerator, stove, microwave, we bought it." Okay, so all of the resources and all of the, it seems like maybe tools and materials that go into the field house, they were paid by the tax-paying citizens. And now they're concerned, okay? They have some concerns, valid concerns. Why is our community resource that we have invested our time, money, and, interest in, why is it being taken from us, speaking in the words of the residents, and now being used to house migrant shelters? So think about, or being used to house migrants. So think about it in your own local community, right? Whether you have a neighborhood center or something like that, could you picture, okay, in your own community, think of a place where many people come together, a place that is a resource for the community. Imagine potentially it being taken from you, okay, without your input, and used to house migrants. Okay, this is we've talked about this here before on the channel. It's a growing crisis, and who's to say that this couldn't happen in your local area? Okay, so let me know your thoughts on this topic. One person was also quoted as saying, and I quote, "We've got to make all kinds of different preparations because we don't count. Now they're fixing it all up to beauty it for what? How come we didn't have that service?" Okay, so basically they're saying, hey, we had to use our own money, potentially, allegedly, to fix up the field house. But now when it comes to housing migrants, now all of a sudden there's funds to fix it up when it wasn't fixed up before. Okay, do you feel like these residents have legitimate concerns? Please let me know. Now, the residents may not have a say in what's happening, but they told us they will have a say about the mayor and others in the voting booth. Now, listen to this, y'all, because we are in a season where I know here in Georgia it's early voting time, so listen to what they're saying, okay? One resident said, vote them out. Here's a quote: "We're going to vote them out of office." Now, once the packed meeting got underway, the atmosphere grew even more heated as residents booed and chanted at city leaders. They stood shoulder to shoulder as they lashed out, okay? Representatives, it says, from the mayor's office, the Park District, and the Chicago Police Department were all there, okay? Someone was quoted as saying, "We're not anti-migrants, but it should not be on our backs for them to just sit up there with this crap, and we're supposed to listen to it," okay? Residents were even chanting, "What about the kids?" Okay, this is also a place where the kids use this as a resource, whether it's sporting events, I'm pretty sure maybe after school activities. You're going to take all of that away. And normally places like that are very important to the community for several reasons, right? Whether it's keeping kids out of trouble, giving kids like a safe place where they can go and have fun, a safe place to learn, maybe pick up some skills, social skills, life skills, things like that, right? And it's going to be taken away to house migrants. Okay, think about this, y'all. How would you feel about that? Another resident argued, "Our tax bills are paid into the Park District. Nobody asked us for permission. Nobody asked us how we felt about it before making these decisions." Okay. A representative from the community also reiterated that the community was not consulted. This person was quoted as saying, and I quote, "These decisions need to be brought to the community. If we lose this, you know how far our kids got to go to do activities." Okay, that was a concern from another resident. One longtime resident, my sources say, is baffled that the city will shut down a booming park, sending children and seniors to other facilities. Okay. This person asked the question, and I quote, "We got the seniors who so," he said, "what are they going to do?" Okay, so, imagine the seniors, they're used to going to this facility, whether it's once or twice or however often per week, and now they can't do that. Where are they going to go to continue to not only have that social interaction, but to continue to have those opportunities to come together, fellowship, practice skills? These are things that they're used to, okay? So it would even be an adjustment for them, and I'm not saying that it would be easy, okay? But they're saying that the decision is done, and now those in Galewood wait to see how the shelter will impact their neighborhood and property values, okay? That's something else people have to potentially think about, is property values, okay? One resident said, "It angers me tremendously to put our community at risk." Now, city leaders tried explaining the decision, okay? But the crowd, y'all know they weren't trying to hear that, right? Someone actually, the deputy mayor of Immigrant, Migrant, and Refugee Rights introduced herself, and she was booed, okay? One resident said, "You work for us," okay? So here it is again, whether these people are elected into office, are they really making decisions that are in the best interest and to the benefit of those in the communities which they serve? I've asked that question several times, okay? Now, the underlying issue, the article says, as articulated before the meeting and in the particular by someone from the community, was that the community was blindsided by migrants moving in, okay? Critics say it is an ongoing theme for the Johnson administration, okay? Johnson being the new mayor. Park programs closing, okay, will lead to a repeat of what the sources say. The park programs closing will lead to a repeat of a teen takeover like the one downtown in the spring. He said the migrants move in sometime this weekend. Okay, so I'm going to follow up on this story at the time. Now, again, I'm reporting on some information that came out the earlier part of this month. I'm going to follow up with this and see what the latest developments are. But again, I'm not sharing this to scare you, but I want you to think about in your own community, okay? How would this impact you if something like this were to happen in your area, okay? Let me know your thoughts. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts, whether you agree or disagree with the residents of this Galewood community in the city of Chicago. Let me know your thoughts, okay? Again, y'all, this could very well potentially happen in your area of mine. Imagine them taking away your resources to put resources into others, okay, who, like I said, may or may not have been born in your area, from your area, okay? Again, not saying that I don't believe that others should receive help, because I do feel like there's a humanitarian thing to do, but at the same time, you got to make sure you take care of your own, okay? Now, we know that this is just one problem, or maybe you don't know this is just one concern out of many concerning the city of Chicago. You know, a lot of people don't talk about this. I was very shocked to learn this, even myself, but, you know, the crime rate, the loss of life, and those numbers, as it pertains to the city of Chicago, and particularly the youth, you know, the last thing it seems like they would need are places where children, men, women, and children of all ages could come together in a safe environment, have fun, learn some things, get that social interaction, right? Maybe even be fed, okay? You know, we need more, not only in Chicago. I'm talking about Chicago because this is a city where this is happening, but in communities all across America, right? We need places like that. So for them to be taken away for this reason in particular, or for any reason, right? It's just something doesn't say, it just doesn't sit well. It doesn't sit well with me at all. So again, you know, shout out to the people of that particular area, Galewood community in Chicago, for standing up and speaking out. A lot of times we may not see that happen, even in the Black community. Okay, I can say that because I am Black myself. But I will say this, I think we all need to pay attention and see what becomes of this, because, you know, whatever, and like I said, I got to follow up, but whatever the end result is, you know, who's to say that they wouldn't try to do that even in your own community, okay? All right, y'all, take care, be blessed, stay safe. Again, shout out to those people in that area for speaking up, not only for themselves, speaking up for the elderly, speaking up for the children of those communities, okay? Talk to you all soon in another video. Take care, be blessed, keep prepping, y'all. Stay encouraged, and know that everything is going to be all right. Talk to you soon.